celebrity sleaze. Now, Fram, what you got?
Love Dakota Johnson. She hosted SNL for a second time over the weekend, had a very special reunion. During the monologue Saturday, she was joined by Justin Timberlake, who was her co-star, remember, in The Social Network. So the two of them had some back and forth where Timberlake offered to help out, in any sketches, and mentioned he had previously hosted, which she then reminded him 10 years ago.
Ooh, it got a little spicy.
Kind of spicy, I think.
Hey, I'm so happy you chose my show for your comeback.
Comeback. Is that what we're calling it? Okay.
Yeah, I mean, comeback in a good way.
Oh, okay, I see what this is. This is where we make a joke like, first he was bringing sexy back, and now he's bringing coming back.
I wouldn't phrase it like that.
Wow, yeah, you're right. Now that I've heard that out loud, that was... Sorry. Anyways, just want to say good luck. And
Thank you.
You're going to crush it.
Thank you.
And I'm here if you need me.
Okay, thank you so much.
Are we doing it? I'm here to say break a leg.
Okay.
These are my normal clothes.
Break a leg.
Did you recognize that voice at the end?
I didn't. Fallon?
Jimmy Fallon,
Okay.
dressed as Barry Gibb of the Bee Gees.
Oh, that's funny.
Because Timberlake was on his show the other night. Timberlake has had a very big week, but somebody is crashing his party. I don't know if you've heard this story or not, because his new song, I actually like his song. It's kind of catchy pop song, Selfish, but it still has to share the chart with Britney Spears' 2011 song, Selfish. Did you hear about what happened?
Wait, that's on the charts right now?
Yeah, it has overtaken his song, Selfish. Her fans, I mean, this is what you talk about, a mob scene. Her fans decided to come out to support Britney Spears. So following his release on Thursday,
wow,
her fans rallied around her own song, same name, ultimately elevated to #1 on iTunes.
I had no idea. Can you believe? Man, talk about holding a grudge.
I mean, the fans came out full support, bought her song that beat his song, same title, Selfish.
What a story.
I mean, I kind of feel like that story's got legs. Don't you think something else is going to happen?
He's just livid. He's been so over Britney overshadowing his every move.
Think about this. You haven't had a song in ages. You're Justin Timberlake. You're on like Jimmy Fallon. You're doing this big SNL thing.
Wow.
All the attention is on you. And then that? It's kind of embarrassing if you think about it.
Brutal.
Yeah, it is brutal. A New York jury on Friday ordered former President Donald Trump to pay a total of $83 million to E. Jean Carroll for ruining her credibility as an advice columnist when he called her a liar after she accused him of sexual assault. The jury awarded her $65 million in punitive damages, $11 million for the damage to her reputation, and another $7.3 million. Of course, everyone feels like he is going to appeal. The jury only had to decide how much he owed her, not if he was liable. I didn't realize this is the second time he's been ordered to pay her. Last year, he was mandated by a jury to pay $5 million for like a whole different case of defamation.
Did he pay it?
I don't know. It didn't say.
Can you imagine? A jury, though, you're going to get a big number, more than likely.
Here's another court dispute. I don't know if you've been following this between the heirs to the Ramones estate. It's culminated now in a lawsuit, one side accusing the other of sort of effectively shutting down the company and controlling their intellectual property. It's also now, there has been greenlit a biopic of the band. So there's Linda Ramone. She's the widow of Ramones guitarist Johnny Ramone, accusing Michael Hyman, he is the brother of Joey Ramone, refusing to engage with the band's record label, their merch company, their business manager, and now there's this whole biopic. Again, can't they just come together and work it out for the legacy of the band?
You want to watch how in 3 seconds I can just destroy the Steve show?
Yes.
Want to wish a happy birthday, everybody, to, on this day, 1949, Tommy Ramone. The drummer for the Ramones was born. He was born, though, Leslie, Thomas Erdely in Budapest, but raised in Queens, New York. What's up, College of Musical Knowledge?
There you go. this has got to be fixed. They need to come together.
Yeah, I mean, come on, guys. Really?
I didn't know how deep this story goes, but talking about lawsuits and stuff, Barnes, WWE founder Vince McMahon and a former executive have been sued for sex trafficking and battery by an ex-administrative employee who questioned the extent of the company's investigation into hush money payments after she was interviewed despite her cooperation. Her name is Janelle Grant. In a lawsuit filed in Connecticut on Thursday, she said she was coerced by McMahon into having sex with him and others at the company at his direction during his tenure as the chief of the whole outfit. WWE also named in this lawsuit. We'll keep looking at this.
That is going to get thick.
It's going to get thick because, now, isn't he back? Isn't he back with this whole TKO group?
Well, that's why all this stuff starts bubbling up.
It's very sad.
Cancel Nation.
Another biopic, Barnes, this one on Michael Jackson. They casted Coleman Domingo to play Joe Jackson, the family matriarch. He just got an Oscar nomination in that movie, Rustin. He's joining Michael. It's a biopic in production from Lionsgate, releasing globally April the 18th, 2025.
It's so weird to see, when you talk about the Jacksons, that was at a time, Michael Jackson, when there wasn't so much access, right, with all the social. And now you flip open TikTok or Instagram and you see Paris Jackson just playing music like it's nothing. Like just a regular girl.
Yeah, she's there with her acoustic guitar and she's actually really good.
And it looks like she lives in a regular house, just like a regular person. That's the part of social media that is so interesting, seeing in these people's lives, because you just make it all up in your head.
I'm really looking forward to actually watching this, and I guess his nephew, Jafar, is the one producing this.
Yeah, I'll watch that.
Okay, how do you take the sin out of Sin City? NFL is attempting to do that because of Las Vegas. In a September email, there's an email about it. It was obtained by Front Office Sports. They gave a little short list of rules for all the players, Barnes, that are at the Super Bowl. Quote, while in Vegas, players participating in the Super Bowl are prohibited from engaging in any form of gambling.
Right.
That's including casino games, betting on any sports. So if you're part of a team, you cannot go to the blackjack table.
Right.
Do you think that they're going to adhere to that?
Well, there are cameras everywhere, but they're still not going to care.
Now, if you're not playing, you're allowed to do that, but you still can't do sports betting. So
yeah, but you're in a place where it's legal.
You're there.
I mean, you're going to have sex, drugs, rock and roll, gambling. It's all going to be right there. The temptation for a 23-year-old athlete? Yeah, right.
Now, do you think that even after the game, like let's say the next day, and you're still like staying somewhere in Vegas, can you bet after that? Yeah, after the game?
Well, on that game, no. What else are you going to bet? The game's going to be over.
No, I'm just saying betting in general.
Yeah, no, I guess. That's just, they're not going to, good luck.
And finally, from the do you think this is a good idea? Do you, Barnes, think it's a good idea to redo the movie Roadhouse? Maybe?
Yeah, sure.
Jake Gyllenhaal is going to play Dalton. But instead of being a bouncer, he's a former UFC fighter who's down on his luck when he takes the bouncing job.
I saw him he was starting to bulk up like a year ago or something. He looked
really bulking
big.
up.
Yeah,
yes.
Huge.
Well, right now, the director is boycotting the film at the premiere of South by Southwest. Why? Because Amazon has decided not to do a theatrical release. They're going right to streaming.
Wow.
Yeah, and you know what he said? Yeah, Amazon will sell more toasters if it has more subscribers. What a diss. Well, it was only a matter of time that this was going to happen, right? AI-generated nude photos. This is terrible. Fake nude images of Taylor Swift have been spreading across the internet. Outrage and calls for more moderation and regulation of AI content from politicians and, of course, her fans. The images reportedly feature Taylor Swift wearing Kansas City Chiefs clothing in sexualized positions among Kansas City Chiefs fans. They were apparently seen around 22 million times before X took them down. And now these politicians are, they're calling out stuff, but they're not doing anything about it.
Tough choice of words there, Fram, with her naked pictures are spreading all over the internet. And I did not see them. Did you see them?
I didn't want to look. Virginia Senator Mark Warner shared on Twitter, X, I reportedly warned that AI could be used to generate non-consensual, intimate imagery. This is deplorable, and I'm going to keep pushing on AI companies to stop this. Now, but there has to be action. You can ask them not to do it, but they're going to keep doing it.
The internet's a scary place, and that shows you the power of Taylor Swift because that stuff is scrubbed. I mean, I just did a quick Google. I don't see any.
You can't find them anywhere.
Yeah,
no.
none of them. So,
Yeah.
wow, that speaks to her power alone. But yeah, she's pissed, and she should be.
We mentioned this the other day. Alec Baldwin headed back to court on new charges involving that on-set shooting death of cinematographer Helena Hutchins. This time, it looks like he might not. He actually has an ally. Did you hear about SAG-AFTRA coming to his defense?
Yes. I was surprised to see it just because of there's so much evidence. And for SAG to step up, that's pretty interesting.
Yeah, they issued a statement supporting Alec Baldwin, saying an actor's job is not to be a firearms or weapons expert. Performers trained to perform, and they are not required or expected to be experts on guns or experienced in their use. The industry assigns that responsibility to qualified professionals who oversee their own use and handling in every aspect.
I mean, that's true, but we're talking about the death of a young woman here.
It's awful.
No, I mean, it's a little deeper than, oh, well, he shouldn't be responsible. This was a low-budget movie. People do it all the time. They cut corners, cut corners, cut corners.
Now, the official armorer of that movie, remember?
Yeah.
Hannah Gutierrez-Reed. She's also headed to her own trial next month. She's facing charges of involuntary manslaughter and evidence tampering.
Yeah, this is a tough one.
God, this is so hard. Robert De Niro loves being a dad. Yes, he does. He has a 9-month-old daughter, Gia. He says, quote, I'm an 80-year-old dad, and it's great. Everything that I've consumed with or worried about just goes away when I look at her. She's a very sweet kind of way. I look at her, and I'm just thinking, this is it. Now, he has other children, as you know. He has 6 other kids from different relationships, ages 11 to 51.
How many nannies do you think he has?
9-month-old.
You know what I mean?
Okay.
Like, dude's not just sitting there down on the floor playing with blocks.
80
I mean,
years old.
yeah. That's
Hey, on the
hard.
Tonight Show last week, Molly Ringwald was on telling a story about her daughter throwing an out-of-control party at her house that was bigger than any party she'd ever had in any of her 80s movies.
Why is Molly Ringwald back? What's going on? What is she doing?
I don't know, but I like her.
I know. She's fun. I just wonder what she's back for. Yeah, I haven't heard of anything, but
I'll Google Molly Ringwald.
for her to be on there. This is a pretty funny story, though. You just immediately picture all the parties from all that Pretty in Pink, from all these,
Yes,
all
yes.
those 80s shows.
It's like you take any party from a movie that I've been in and then you multiply it by, I don't know, 3 and, or 10 or whatever. And that was it. And then the police arrived.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
So this is a rager at Molly Ringwald's house.
Yes. No, the police arrived, and my daughter, who evidently has seen too many Law and Orders, told the police that they couldn't come in without a warrant.
That's funny.
I mean, come on.
That's classic.
Yeah, I'll figure out why she's out and about, but yeah, she looks great. I actually watched this clip. She looked really good.
Yeah, she hasn't done a ton lately.
No, she hasn't. Beverly Hills 90210 fans, if you aren't yet aware, Tori Spelling and Jenny Garth co-host a podcast. Did you know this? It's called 90210 Oh My God.
I had heard of it, but I've never heard it.
Yeah, they tell stories about their days on their set. Well, Tori told the story that Jenny's something that she told her that she never knew, and that is that Luke Perry secretly dated Madonna.
What?
I will never forget him pulling me into his dressing room and telling me, I felt so confided in, oh my God, he is telling me about Madonna. Tori explained that Perry even invited her to listen to a message he got from her on his answering machine. Quote, I was like, you're the coolest person in the world. 1, because you're Luke Perry, and 2, because Madonna wants you.
I do believe it. I mean, remember we had a listener call in and say that he had sex with Madonna in New York. Allegedly, she was in a limo, pulled up, thought he was hot. Remember on Celebrity Boink?
Yeah, I do remember that.
And it was Madonna, and she said, get in, had sex with a guy, and dropped him off down the road. I mean, I believe it.
Well, I also am very excited about this story because now I know that Jenny Garth and Tori Spelling have a podcast called 9021 OMG.
Yeah, that's a great name.
That is a terrific name. Are you a Tom Hollander fan?
Sure.
Yeah, well, 2 letters can make a huge difference. Just ask Tom Hollander from White Lotus. He revealed during an episode of The Late Show with Seth Meyers last week that his agency once accidentally sent him Tom Holland's paycheck for his work on one of the Avengers movies. Listen to this.
My good friend Peter is doing this great play, and I'm going to go afterwards and see him and slightly patronize him and say how wonderful it was. And then the interval came, and I thought I'd check my emails, and I got an email from the agency saying, payment advice slip, your first box office bonus for the Avengers. And I thought... I don't think I'm in the Avengers. And it was an astonishing amount of money. And it was not his salary, it was his first box office bonus. Not the whole box office, the first one. And it was more money than I've ever... It was a 7-figure sum.
Yeah.
And
they had to send it in two emails.
He was...
Man, can you imagine?
Tom Holland and Tom Hollander.
That is sweet. Wouldn't you just sit there and stop in shock and wonder what the F to do?
And then you try to cash it. And you're like,
Yeah, whoops.
oh, wow, Sharon Osbourne's opening up about the moment she learned of Ozzy's infidelity in his previous affair. Speaking on stage at her show, Sharon Osbourne cut the crap in London. She revealed that she attempted suicide after learning of his infidelity. He's always had groupies, and I was kind of used to that, which is kind of interesting. But when he knows that person's name, where they live and where they work, it's a whole different thing as you are emotionally invested. I took, I don't know how many pills. She said she was sharing this. She said she took all these pills and locked herself in a bedroom. The maid tried to come in to clean the room and saw me. That's pretty devastating.
That family is so all over the map. The emotions that ride through all of them.
Well, the fact that she casually said she knew about the groupies and didn't care, but it was the minute that he actually knew someone's name and said that person's name. That's kind of a defining moment.
If you're married to a rock star or anyone super famous like that, it's like they have a superpower.
Yeah.
And sometimes you start mixing alcohol and whatever, they can't resist.
And are you really looking the other way?
Yeah, that's kind of you hear the people that say, well, there are relationships where people, they're open. But it doesn't sound like that was one of them. But don't you agree that the Osbournes, just think, all of this, it's almost like they have a roadmap for drama.
Well, it all started with, putting yourself on television for years.
Yeah.
That is your Celebrity Sleaze.